Hello, are you here to debate?
Yes, I am.
All right, what's your name, age, and pronouns?
Cody, 23, and he, him.
Okay, Cody. What are you here to debate about?
Mostly about your stance on God being evil.
Okay. Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
Do you believe the Bible is 100% accurate, as in like the things in the Bible happened?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, based on the stuff in the Bible, I would say God is definitely evil.
What examples would you pull up? I've got my laptop open with some things so that way I can keep myself accurate if I can.
Sure. You ever heard of Job?
Yeah.
All right.
Job up.
Job is my favorite person in the Bible. Job was God's A1 day one, you know? He's literally described as being the most fearful. He followed God. He did nothing wrong, right? One day, God's hanging out in heaven with his angels, right? He's just hanging, him and his angels, and Satan shows up. And God goes to Satan, "Hey, yo, you heard of this Job guy?" And Satan goes, "No, well, who's Job?" And God goes, "Well, Job's my best follower. He does everything. He's got, big house, big bunch of kids, sheep, crops. Job is the best." And Satan goes, "Well, he only follows you because he has all that good stuff." And God says, "All right, you want to bet?" And so God tells Satan, "Hey, you can do whatever you want to Job's family. You can do whatever you want to Job's home. You can do whatever you want to Job's sheep. You can do whatever you want to his crops. You just can't harm Job. Job has to stay safe." And I guarantee you at the end of it,
said you can't kill Job, which is why the devil deteriorates his health.
Yep. And so he goes, "You can do anything to anybody else. You just can't kill Job." So Satan goes, "Fucking sick, dog. You're on. Bet." So Satan burns down his house, kills his sheep, burns down his crops, and kills his 7 kids. And at the end of it, Job is like, "Oh, I still follow God." And God's like, "See, I told you." Here's a question I have about God. Is this man all-knowing?
Yeah. If the Bible's correct, then he should be.
Okay, so he knew that Job would follow him no matter what.
Yeah.
So why did he let Satan kill Job's kids?
Let me see if I see any topics here. Your question is, why did he allow him to kill his kids?
Yeah, if he knew that Job would always follow him, why even bring Job up to Satan? Because he's all knowing, right? So he knew that by bringing Job up to Satan and by allowing this bet, Satan would kill Job's kids. Doesn't sound like something God brought up.
Did God mention Job
yes,
first,
God
or
brings up
Satan mention Job?
God brings up Job first. God specifically says to Satan, he's like, "Oh, what you been doing, Satan?" And Satan says, "I've been walking around your planet and just chilling." And God goes, "Have you heard of Job?" Completely unprompted, God brings Job up. Kind of sounds like something an evil person would do.
There's someone on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil.
Yeah, I don't think a good being would do this. This don't really sound good to me.
I'm not exactly sure on the killing kids part and all this other stuff.
Specifically, it's Job's children. They are adults, but they're still his children.
Yeah,
they're in their home. Yeah. They're in their home, and Satan sends a giant breeze to collapse the home in on them, and then they all die.
Yeah. Let me see if there's anything that if I can find the verse specifically about it.
Thank you, Boo.
Well, I guess I can just scroll through here and find it. That Job speaks.
I mean, is there any context that would make this okay?
That's why I want to see exactly what it says about it. Because, of course, just saying it sounds really bad. I just want to see if there's anything around it that could mention anything besides it. But If I remember correctly, they don't really specifically say the whole details on it.
I mean, what more details do we need to know? God is all-knowing. He started a bet he knew he would win, and by doing this bet, he allowed Satan to kill Job's children. I don't know how much, I don't know what else we need.
Thank you, Boo.
Do you think Job's kids should have died?
I don't think anybody should have died through it.
Okay. Because this isn't the only time God's like killed people. This is just like one example.
Yeah, I know there's other examples of him killing people or doing things that allowed people to die.
Just kind of seems kind of, you know, if God kills a bunch of people all the time, just in my opinion, sounds a little evil. At least based on his own rules.
Oh, okay. So I'm seeing here that Job is an extended parable, not a historical event. But it says that somewhere.
I mean, so you're saying the Bible is not a 100% historically accurate book?
If it's a parable, then no, not the entire Bible.
Well, I would just say if some of the Bible is fake, probably most of the Bible is fake.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh no, do you believe in like
others?
Sure, let's just analyze some of the other stuff. Let's analyze some of the other stuff. Do you think the flood happened, like the flood in Noah's Ark and all that?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of arguments behind the flood.
Okay, so Noah really did build an ark. He got 2 of every animal. They all got on the boat, right? Yeah. And then God sent a flood that killed like literally everybody else.
Yeah.
Would this make God a good God, or?
At the point of the flood, God saw the world as close to, there was no way for humans to come back to him. So the best solution to that problem was to pretty much restart the world. So he went to Noah, who was...
He gave us free will. Wait, let's just look at this. He gave us free will. And we exercised that free will. And he punished us for exercising that free will. So he doesn't actually want us to have free will, because if we do have free will, right? If we do have free will and we go too far, he'll just kill us all.
Well, we all die regardless, and that's because of Adam and Eve being sent out of Eden.
Adam and Eve. Now that's an interesting one. What was it that they ate again, Adam and Eve?
They ate a forbidden fruit.
And what was the fruit specifically? It was from the tree of what?
Good and evil.
Okay. So God said, don't eat this fruit or you will die, right? That's like specifically what he says in Genesis. First of all, they eat the fruit and they don't die. So this was a lie from God.
It's actually not a lie.
Well, it is. They didn't die when they ate the fruit.
But if you can't call them because they're dead. So they did, because the quote says they will surely die. And they didn't die right after.
Adam lives to be like 200 years old. Adam lives to be like 200. He didn't.
He still died again.
Wait. So eating the fruit caused him to live to be 200, and then he died.
Yeah, because beforehand he was immortal.
Oh, so the fruit made him moral. So he ate the fruit, which was the knowledge of good and evil. Was it an evil action that they ate the fruit? Like, was them eating the fruit evil?
It was directly evil to eat the fruit, it was wrong to go against the
Oh,
command of
sorry,
God.
chat. Sorry.
But it
Chat was
sin.
correcting me on something. Apparently, Adam lives to be like 900 years old. So yeah,
He
I'm
lives to be
not
a long
gonna
time.
claim
I don't
that.
remember exactly how long.
I'm just gonna claim
no,
that
I don't know
God
if it's
lied to them.
900 because Methuselah is the longest living person in the Bible, and he's like 900 something.
Okay, so they eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, knowledge that they don't possess because they hadn't eaten the fruit yet. So they don't possess the knowledge of good and evil. So they don't know like moral decisions. They're not able to make moral decisions because they don't have knowledge of moral actions. But this action was so bad and was so immoral that God punished them for it, even though they didn't have any concept of morality because they didn't have a knowledge of good and evil.
Well, the only thing behind it is he pretty much created Eden, told Adam, you can eat anything except this fruit. He said, okay. He created Eden, or Eve, said the same thing. And then later, when Lucifer came as the form of the snake, he had convinced Eve to eat the fruit.
Yeah. So the snake convinced them, right?
That's right.
Who made the snake?
Who made the snake?
Yeah.
Well, God created the species of the snake, but Lucifer disguised himself as a snake. So it would have been Lucifer's actions.
Who made Lucifer?
Well, God did, but I mean, he's not controlling Lucifer's actions.
Is God all-knowing?
He is all-knowing.
When he created Lucifer, did he know that Lucifer would disguise himself as the snake?
He would.
When he created Lucifer, did he know that Lucifer, by disguising himself as a snake, would convince Adam and Eve to eat the apple? Or the fruit?
Yeah.
Okay, so before he even created Adam and Eve, he knew that he would punish them with a test that he knew they would fail.
Yeah.
And that sounds good to you?
By human standards, it wouldn't sound good.
Okay. What makes it good by God? What makes it
between good and evil in terms of
Sure. What makes it good by God's standards?
Good by his standards is just anything that it's something we can't comprehend because you have human mentality and such, and things that we would consider evil and bad.
Basically, anything that goes for God's will would be good because it's God and we can't comprehend his will. So we just have to take it on blind faith that like anything that he's proposing is good.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If God appeared before you tomorrow and it was definitely God, he's in a burning bush like he did Moses, right? And he tells you, Cody, he says, hey, Cody, I need you to violently kill 1,000 babies. You can't ask why because you can't comprehend why. Would you do it? And would you view this as a good moral act?
He's done it before.
Yep.
And he did that with Abraham. He said, Abraham, I need you to kill your son. And so Abraham blindly agreed. But when he did that, God did it as a test. And because he did that, he stopped him from actually sacrificing his son.
You know that there are people in the Bible that God did have kill their kids, right? Abraham's not the only one.
Which one?
What is their name? God, I can never fucking remember it. It starts with an S, if I'm remembering correctly, chat. S. Am I thinking correctly? Is it S? I don't remember her. I don't remember their name. I'm not remembering it correctly. I'll figure it out. But there are multiple people in the Bible that God like actually had kill their kids. Once I remember the name, I'll let you know.
Okay.
But like I said, if God comes down to you and tells you to do this, would you say Jephthah, Jephthah. I don't know how you pronounce it, but Jephthah killed his daughter. Jephthah killed his daughter.
Do you know how to spell? Can you spell that?
Yeah, Jephthaah. Jiblomblebees. So yeah, God will kill your kids. And so here we have God asking you, Cody, hey, Cody, kill violently 1,000 babies. Are you doing it? And would you view it as a moral action?
Do you have the spot where Jephthah kills?
Judges 11:30 through 40.
30 through 40. Okay.
And Jephthah made a vow to the Lord, if you give the Ammonites into my hands, whatever comes out of the door of my house to meet me when I return in triumph from the Ammonites will be the Lord's, and I will sacrifice it as a burnt offering. Then Jephthah went over to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gave them into his hands. He devastated 20 towns from Aror to the vicinity of Minnith, as far as Abel. I can't say these words. When Jephthah returned to his home in Mizpah, who should come out to meet him but his daughter, dancing to the sound of timbrels? She was an only child. Except for her, he had neither son nor daughter. When he saw her, he tore his clothes and cried, "Oh no, my daughter, you have brought me down, and I am devastated. I have made a vow to the Lord that I cannot break." "My father," she replied, "you have given your word to the Lord. Do to me just as you promised, now that the Lord has avenged you of your enemies, the Ammonites. But grant me this one request," she said. "Give me 2 months to roam the hills and weep with my friends, because I will never marry." "You may go," he said, and he let her go for 2 months. She and her friends went to the hills and wept because she would never marry. After the 2 months, she returned to her father, and he did it to her as he had vowed, and she was a virgin. From this comes the Israelite tradition that each year the young women of Israel go out for 4 days to commemorate the daughter of Jephthah, the Gileadite. So, yep, kills his daughter.
Oh, I see. Yeah, if you give the Amalekites into my hands, whatever comes out of my door of my house to meet me when I return in triumph from the Ammonites will be the Lord's, and I will sacrifice it as a burnt offering. And his daughter was the one that came through the door. Okay.
So, yeah. So, if God told you to kill 1,000 babies, would you do it?
I mean, if it was God, then I probably would have.
And you believe this would be good? This would be like a moral good because God told you to do it?
If it was like you said, 100% God, like true believer in God, then I would probably have faith that for somehow it would have to be some good intention behind it, even if it was beyond my understanding.
Okay, so one more question about God.
If that proved God was real, then I would have to make something.
Yeah, one more question about God, really quickly. Can God lie?
No.
No, God cannot lie.
No.
So God is not all powerful because there are things he cannot do.
That doesn't mean he's not all powerful.
Well, yes, it does. If he physically cannot do this, then he does not have all power. There are things that he is powerless to do, which one of them would be lie.
It'd be one of those things where it's like, if he says it, it just is.
If he says it, it just is.
Sort of thing. I mean, like if he says, "Let there be light," then there is light. If he would say something, then it would probably be true.
Mm-hmm. So God is incapable of lying. So there is something in the world, in the universe, that God cannot do. So he's not all powerful.
Well, that would prove that he is all powerful.
How?
Because that would say, like, oh, he cannot lie. Then
he cannot do something. All powerful means there is nothing that you cannot do. And he's lied before. He lies to Abraham.
When did he lie to Abraham?
I mean, telling somebody to kill their kid and then stopping them at the last minute. I mean, I would say you lied to them at the start of this, right? The whole telling Abraham to kill his kid thing was a lie. He didn't actually want Abraham to kill his kid. He just wanted Abraham to like show his faith. That'd be a lie. A lie of omission is still a lie.
Thank you, Boo.
I'd also personally say that eating the fruit will kill you thing was a lie.
Well, it's not, because they still died in the end.
Yeah, but
They
eating
are
the
surely
fruit
dead.
didn't kill them. Old age killed them.
Yeah, because the fruit made them mortal. If they didn't eat the fruit, they wouldn't have died. They still died because of the fruit.
Yeah, I'd say this is still a pretty gray area when we're looking at telling the truth, right? God didn't say eat the fruit and you won't be immortal anymore. He specifically says if you eat this fruit, you'll die.
Yeah, there's also things due to translation. So,
like, wait, let me just ask you. Let me just ask you. If we're in a parking lot and I say if you cross this road without looking, you'll die, and you cross this road, nothing happens to you, but like 50 years later, you die. Did I tell the truth?
I mean, technically, I crossed the line, or I crossed it without looking, and then I did die. I still did the action, and I'm still dead. Now, if you said you would die from getting hit by a car, that would be a different thing.
Thank you, Boo.
That's crazy. Okay.
Thank you, Boo.
I do just want to point out that the translation specifically says that God says, when you eat from it, you will surely die. This implies that they're going to die as they're eating. When you eat from it. Not later. He says, when you eat from it. Just want to point that out there. So just to recap, you would kill 1,000 babies violently if God told you to. God cannot lie, but he is all powerful. Is that a fair assessment of the call?
Essentially, but I mean, the lying thing is just because it's not that he's not incapable of lying. It's just that lying isn't really a thing to him. It's like the same thing as like sin. He can't sin, and that's just because he is God. There's no way for him to sin.
It's just because he told you that, right? The only reason we believe God can't lie is because God told us he can't lie. But what if that was a lie?
There's no evidence of him lying.
Except the evidence I gave you, such as the stuff with Abraham, stuff with Adam and Eve. I'd say this is pretty bold lies, in my opinion.
Trying to pull up the thing with Abraham to see what he specifically told him about the son.
So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next caller now. All right.
Thank you, Boo.
All right.
All right.